will be the first academy in the world who will be setting up a manufacturing line for photovoltaic panels, which will give complete skill-based training for the students and for the staff. For the third consecutive time in the GATE exam, our students have stood All India rank 1 as PDEU. We are almost touching all the nodal points where energy transition is being taken more seriously. There should be many more universities taking such initiatives for skill development.
What are the kind of outcomes that students look at?
The IT industries have taken a big hit. PDEU is trading equally on manufacturing as well as IT. We have a very different philosophy in imparting energy education.
So my guest today is Dr. Sundar Manoharan. He is the Director General of Gandhinagar's Pandit Deendayal Energy University, better known as PDEU. He took over as Director General in 2020, and many of you would be aware that PDEU was awarded the NAC A++ rating last year. Dr. Sundar, welcome to Shiksha Talkies.
Thank you for having me.
So Dr. Sundar, PDEU started as a petroleum university in 2007 with a focus on fossil fuels. And if I'm not wrong, it was India's energy-only university, purely dedicated to energy and research and so on. The world, however, is moving to alternative sources of energy. And how do you think PDEU is adapting to this changing scenario?
It's a good question because a bigger challenge in the energy transition today. How do we go for energy storage, and that too for grid support? We are talking about lithium batteries in a big way, but that is limited because of its energy density and also because of its footprint. It cannot really take care of grid support. It can maximum help up to 1 megawatt. So this is where we are launching the new initiatives that has come from at least 10 years of intensive research globally in the form of redox flow batteries. So we are in the verge of installing smart grid to demonstrate how we can harvest solar, wind, and the energy storage. Then we also go one step further to show how in this new energy storage platform we can launch EV charging. These are questions that is rigorously being evaluated by the industry and by the government. So we are very happy as PDEU. We are almost touching all the nodal points where energy transition is being taken more seriously.
What about the adoption of all these technologies that you're developing in the campus? Are these being adopted across the industry by the government?
Yes, one thing is we are one of the first university who have installed 1 megawatt solar farm as early as 2011, even before energy transition and renewable became national agenda. So much of the learnings have come out of our campus as far as Gujarat going more into renewable energy. And thanks to the government of Gujarat. Having said that, we are not only worried about demonstration of smart grid and trying to bring in newer technologies, but we are also launching manufacturing skills. Probably will be the first academy in the world who will be setting up a manufacturing line for photovoltaic panels, which will give complete skill-based training for the students and for the staff. We will be able to be an effective supply chain for students with hands-on experience in. Basically, we want to cater to the skill training in silicon photovoltaics. So this is our primary, and I'm very happy that in another 3-4 months, it will be dedicated to the nation. And around 1,000 students will be trained in silicon photovoltaics from the campus of PDEU. So we talk about energy generation, we talk about energy storage, and we are also talking now about energy transmission by taking it all the way up to EV charging stations in the highways, byways, we can set it up. And we are going one step more into decarbonization and net zero compliance, and also bringing crucially manufacturing skills in semiconductor mission that includes silicon photovoltaics.
So I know that PDEU has been a sort of a pioneer in the energy space. But if you see today, there are a lot of other colleges which have launched their own programs around energy systems, renewable energy, and so on. How do you maintain a competitive advantage or some sort of a differentiation or a USP over those programs that are being offered by other colleges?
when we talk about a very exhaustive technology initiative that PDEU is taking, but still, when we compare with national agenda on renewable energy or whatever COP26 declaration for net zero decarbonization, country going totally electric vehicle and talk about decarbonization, I think our contribution is just a drop in the ocean, because we are talking about combating a 400 gigawatt energy generation through renewable. So, having said that, I have a feeling that we don't compete with any of the other academies. We only want to be facilitators rather than competitors, because the need is great, and whatever we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. Therefore, there should be many more universities taking such initiatives for skill development, so that we will produce camera-ready students, especially to meet this challenge. So, put in perspective, we will be very happy to take this forward, launch these initiatives along with other universities who are our neighbors, rather than we see themselves as our competitors. I think when we look at the global challenge, the competition doesn't have any edge over the real skill development program that we need to do.
That's a great approach, Dr. Sundar. I want to draw your attention, or rather learn from you, about what are the kind of outcomes that students look at once they are done, once they complete their program at PDEU. Could you help me understand the breakup of, what is the percentage of students that maybe look at employment post their completion of the program, or maybe look at entrepreneurship or research as the third option?
It's a very big question and exhaustive, because we cater to 4 schools: a School of Technology, Energy Technology, Liberal Arts and Management. And the tenor is different with respect to the admission as well as with respect to the employment. But we are also serving a very unique category of students who come in, especially from Gujarat. Most of these students come from a family business background. Therefore, they're extremely delighted to acquire knowledge and immediately take it to the field. Having said that, in the liberal arts, we have over 500 students graduating, and nearly 70% of them by default pursue higher education, and at least 25% of the total group which graduates every year, they go abroad, and they are doing exceptionally well. I'm very pleased to tell you, for the 3rd consecutive time in the GATE exam, our students have stood All India rank 1, and also in the top 10, minimum 4 people are qualifying in the AR ranking. So that leaves a very strong footprint on the determination on the part of our stakeholders to go for core engineering jobs, to industry, and also to academia for research. So overall, it's very gratifying to see how our students choose their career, the future. We have at least 300 to 350 students outbound every year without much of our intervention, because they're all on auto mode. So that's the way we have set the platform. And third, we have core engineering companies coming for placement. And I'm very pleased to tell you, this year, 20 of our students were placed in ONGC with a 24 lakh package. Average package is exceeding 8 lakhs now for undergraduate students, and for management it is already crossed 12 lakhs. So that should give you some idea about the tempo we sense in the placement, and especially in the management we have 100% placement, 100% employment. In the engineering it's about 90, and in the SLS, that is liberal arts, we see 50% going for higher studies. So it's a very good response, and we are trying to empower more, and we would like to improve our score on the placement further. And our students are extremely delighted to work and orient themselves more on the core jobs. That is a welcome commitment from the students who are graduating.
Those are great numbers, Dr. Sundar. I'd like your insights on how the placement scenario is changing.
It's a bit vulnerable because of 2 reasons. One, we are in the post-COVID recovery process. So the IT industries have taken a big hit, although they had work from home concept. But the manufacturing sector really went for a toss, because almost 18 months of touch-me-not situation. So manufacturing is recovering. PDU is trading equally on manufacturing as well as IT. So we don't have any discord. In fact, we are very, very happy because our students who acquire 33% of their coursework on skill-based and experiential-based learning, there is no dearth for the brilliance in IT field. So I'm thinking recruitment is going to be very, very positive, encouraging, especially in the core branches in the coming years.
I believe PDU was one of the earlier universities to launch their liberal studies school and the liberal studies program. Having an energy university, a university dedicated to technology with its own school of liberal studies, how has the presence of or the evolution of liberal studies in a core engineering campus, how has that worked out for you?
It was a great learning for me and a surprise when I got to know that computer science and ECE, ICT were the most recent programs started, which in other universities would be the first one to start. And the other surprise for me when I joined PDU was after starting School of Petroleum Management and School of Petroleum Technology, it was liberal arts which was started even before all branches of engineering were started. As a university since 2007, but I can't believe that we started the computer science only 5-6 years back, and ECE was started just 3 years back after I came. So we are not in urgency to start only premium courses, but we are actually laying more emphasis into manufacturing. Therefore, that shows that we have a very different philosophy in imparting energy education. So that is the very rewarding and a unique feature of PDU, because the liberal arts is surrounded by all the engineering and science departments. So there is a very non-threatening, at the same time a very participating venture. From last year, we have made 12% of our total credits compulsory for engineering students to take from liberal arts, and vice versa. We are also asking the liberal arts students to take 12% of the credit from the engineering and science group, so that they will be actually befitting the marketplace demands. And these are new formations, so to say. So in PDU, I think SLS has its special place.
Since you mentioned NEP, I'm going to just change gears and talk about NEP and what it's trying to accomplish. As it gets more and more matured, do you see that design your own programs or design your own undergrad programs is really where we are headed? And if that be the case, what, in your opinion, is should these degrees of the future look like? What will they look like, Ram?
NEP is visionary, and it is already 2 years since its launch now. It's in the third year, and most of the affirmative steps are being taken in the current academic year. But I think such leap forward initiatives are needed, because if we look at global competency, I think we need to talk the same language if we want to be globally competent. I think it won't throw you haywire. It is a focused appropriation of credit. Number one, if there is a disruption in your academic progress due to many reasons, here comes one unique opportunity that you don't have to feel that you missed the bus, but you can always take a conscious detour, and then you can come and merge again in the university timeline for graduation. Number two, this is supposed to help girls who go through different pathways during their education, and one disruption sometimes can deprive them for years to come. Therefore, NEP gives a very unique proposition for girl students, in my perception. And number three, this sort of orientation will keep you ease and calm when you hit foreign soil, especially for other degrees. So it's almost sort of bringing the entire academic system neutral or flat, par with global universities. So I think this is a very important initiative that has come, and I'm sure it's going to revolutionize the concept of university education. It will make students to go into different campuses to credit courses.
I'm just going to ask you one last question. I would like you to wear the counselor hat and give your advice to students on how they should make the most of their years at PDU.
Yeah, I think the education system is right and very nicely pruned for the future generation. And I think we are living in one of the crucial moments of human history, I should say, when there is a knowledge explosion. And the previous generation has carefully crafted a curriculum that is non-threatening, welcoming, and trying to make sure that it's giving a beyond the borders perception. Therefore, the younger generation or the generations to come will definitely have a great time learning. Therefore, it's a great time. I envy the present and the future generation because that's not the way we learned. But I think we are leaving a very strong footprint for the future generation to make a very joyful experience out of university learning.
It was a pleasure chatting with you, Dr. Sundar. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on Shiksha Talkies.
प्लीज इस वीडियो को लाइक शेयर जरूर कीजिएगा और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना बिल्कुल मत भूलिएगा। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग।